Hey people. So I'm gonna be doing like a two-parter kind of weird question thing tutorial. So I've been asked this plenty of times actually. People want to know how to build cars and how to get helicopters working. Um, Pharozos asks, "Hey Ace, can we get a start-to-finish guide for a car, Jeep, bus? I've seen a few car parts around and even a main rotor assembly, but don't have any clue what to do with them. Still haven't found a wreck I can interact with. Thanks for the vids. Keep them coming." And right after that, we have another question from Legia1231, and he asks, "How hard is it to find a chopper, repair it, and then keep it safe?" I figured these are both dealing with vehicles. I can kind of throw together a little mini tutorial kind of thing and show you guys how to get those things going, and then speak about how to keep it safe. So first things first, let's talk about where to find these things. Cause I bet you all are wondering where are the spawn points is, man. Where do I find these wrecks that I can actually repair? They're actually everywhere. I mean, I've seen cars in Bor, I've seen cars in Groshino, Dubrovka, Berezino, Electro. I got the bus from Cherno. Every city almost has a possibility they have a vehicle there. Hell, even you'll find vehicles next to random barns sometimes out in the middle of nowhere. So that's where you would find cars, jeeps, and buses. Buses tend to be more in the city though, obviously. Helicopter wrecks are kind of out of the way. I mean, I've found one um, just south of Black Mountain or Black Castle, whatever it's called. Um, here, those are I can't say I've seen a lot of those. I've only had one helicopter since or two. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure where all those spawn, but just kind of check around civilizations, kind of hills and stuff like that. Clearings in forests that tends to be popular crash sites. If you see a gray helicopter with smoke and stuff, those are not repairable. The only one repairable is a UH1Y, I think it's called. It's like a greenish color. Okay, so let's go over what we need for Jeeps, cars, and buses. You need 4 car wheels. You need one engine part, one fuel tank part, one scrap metal, and 1 to 5 jerry cans. I kind of throw that out there because technically you can drive a car away with one jerry can in it, but it's always good to have extra. It's always good to have more fuel. I think the buses take more than just the average amount of jerry cans that the cars do, but yeah. Most of the time, cars are gonna be in full wreck, so you're gonna need all this. But once in a while, you might find a car that somebody put a wheel on or somebody fixed the engine on. So just know this is what you need for a completely wrecked vehicle. So 4 car wheels, that's pretty obvious. Make sure when you're putting those on though that you make sure you do only that's what's applicable. That means front left, front right, back left, back right. I made a mistake before with that, so that's why I was just clarifying that. So engine parts, make it so your engine runs, obviously. Fuel tank part. If you don't have a fuel tank part and it's messed up, whatever gas you put in will very, very fast leak out. And this one scrap metal is for the hull of the car. You might think, hey, I don't need a hull, but if you don't have a hull and you bump a tree, you bump anything just a little bit, your car will literally blow up. Trust me, we've done it, and 3 of us died. So, good times. Just so you know, though, guys, doing this car stuff is not a one-man job usually, or it'll at least take multiple trips from one man. So right here, this is a little chart, I guess, or whatever the hell you want to call it, where each wheel takes 6 slots of inventory. Engine parts take 6 slots of inventory. Fuel tank, 5 slots. Jerry can, 3 slots. And scrap metal, 2 slots. So these are kind of big. I just want to make it clear that the buses, the Jeeps, the cars, they're all going to use those parts the same way. Buses take 4 wheels, Jeeps take 4 wheels, normal civilian cars take 4 wheels. But now you might be asking, where do you go find all these parts that you need to fix this car up? Okay, I went to a site called dayzmod.info, and it has plenty of nice maps on there. It's a great resource. I got a map from a guy named Kuehl. I'm going to show you that map right now here. Now, granted, it doesn't look that good in my little Sony Vegas thing here, but when you go on the website, you'll find it there. It's an awesome map. He has warehouses, office buildings, hangars, general stores. He has them all marked on the map. Right now, we're zoomed in to Berezino on the far east coast. I personally think Berezino is a great place to farm parts because there's 4 hangars there. Okay. Oh, sorry, not hangars, warehouses. And in these warehouses, there's a really good chance that a lot of these parts are going to spawn there. But just remember to bring a group because Berezino is kind of hot in relation to all the other cities, along with the fact that there's a lot of zombies there. So let's recap. Now you know where to look for a wreck, along with what you need to fix that wreck, and you know where to find the parts for that wreck. That way you can get it all fixed up, get it ready to go, and then drive off with it. A great place to refuel jerry cans in cars. You're always going to need a jerry can, I think, to refuel cars, at least as far as I know. That's how I've always done it. Where you need to go to refuel is usually next to barns. There's brown cylinders next to barns, and those barns are your refuel stations. Where are they? They're all over the map. You know those like white and brown barns that are always like secluded in some middle of a field? Yeah, those. They tend to have a brown cylinder on the side of them. Alright, now on to the second half. Choppers. Okay, where do you find them? I kind of told you that already. They're in the middle of the field somewhere. You know, they're kind of hard to find. I've never really found them like at a constant rate to where I can say, oh yeah, they spawn here and here and here. No, I've heard them spawn in Bodega Dam. I've heard them spawn in Northeast Airfield. So, I mean, you really just kind of luck it out, kind of find it. So let's start off here and go one by one of what a helicopter will need. Okay, as you see here, it has a hull, okay, an engine, an ATRQ, which is the back rotor, and then a M something QT, which is the main top rotor. And then it has instruments. Instruments is like a GPS that comes with the helicopter and stuff. From my experience, guys, I mean, I've only done this once pretty much. It took 4 scrap metal, 1 engine part, 1 main rotor assembly, and 20 jerry cans at the very least to like 80, I think, to fill it up. Okay, so the 4 scrap metal are used for 4 things: hull, instruments, back rotor, and fuel tank. Now the fuel tank is really important because if you put, I mean, as you noticed, 20 jerry cans, if you put 20 jerry cans worth of fuel in there and there's a leak, it's going to leak so fast that it's going to be a complete waste of your time. One thing you might want to invest in that I forgot to mention, windshield glass. Mainly the front 2 windows for the helicopter, because as a pilot, if you can only go first person view, it is really hard to see out all that cracked glass. Although it's not necessary, you don't need it, you can fly without it. Now, where would you find all these parts? Well, it's actually the same spot you would find all the other ones. The only big difference is the main rotor assembly, but you only need 1 of those. And they do spawn in warehouses. So that's pretty much all you need. But as you may have noticed, with the excess of parts that you need, you're probably going to want to have a vehicle. Like when we did our helicopter, when we started fueling it, we had a pickup truck full of jerry cans. I think we had 40 jerry cans in it, full of fuel. We used that to get the fuel to the helicopter. So I recommend that you start off looking for a car, getting that fixed up before you try to do a helicopter. Now, a helicopter is a big undertaking because at some point you have to land it and log off for the night and just let it sit there all repaired and ready to go. That's probably one of the hardest things, is finding a place to land this that's so someone's not going to find it and take it. It's hard to find a place to do it. Actually, our camp area was actually compromised. Someone stole our helicopter off in New York too before we were gonna leave. Um, so that means even cars, helicopters, they're all gonna be very difficult to hide. Um, I recommend probably somewhere off the map if you're gonna try to hide it. But at the same time, somebody that has a vehicle or a helicopter is going to be looking for your camp. That's what we did in our helicopter, man. We just drove around, or rather flew around overhead, and we just looked for other people's camps so we can get more stuff. Um, so really, it's just a matter of placing it and kind of hoping for the best. Well, I hope I've answered your questions. It's not really a very good tutorial because I didn't like actually do it real time in game and show you every piece. But I'm way lazy, so that's why I didn't do that. But yeah, if you have any more questions in regards to this, let me know, or if there's any corrections that need to be made, because as I said, I haven't had much work with helicopters since a couple patches ago. So might have changed and I might be wrong. In any case, thanks for your time, guys. Take care.